everybody. Hey, what's going on, Chief Founder Hard? You doing all right? Thanks for coming in. Kevin, what's going on? Hope everybody's had a good week. It's been interesting for me. I'm glad it's Friday, I'll tell you that. Hey, Minnie the Moocher. Y'all bear with me. I'm just trying to get used to this thing being positioned the way it is. Hey Alan, how you doing? Hey everybody. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I've had an interesting week. It's been kind of a roller coaster of a week. Uh, this time last week, I was going into the weekend trying to figure out some things. That was kind of aggravating. The weekend was kind of stressful last weekend. This week, things have seemed to resolve themselves with that issue. Had a pretty good week overall. And then the cat that I got like a month ago decided to wander off uh, last night. So I spent a good part of the afternoon looking for him and posting shit around all these social media things trying to find him. And hopefully he'll turn up because I really didn't expect it. I thought he's been really good, and I've finally kind of trusted him outside, and he wandered off last night when he went out. So I don't know. Hopefully he turns up. I really was taking a liking to him, and I've never had a cat, so he's it's all new to me. So I'm hoping he's good. But so I'm going into this weekend with a little bit of stress trying to figure that out. So I'm hoping we can get that resolved. But I hope nothing happened to him. I got a lot of animals and stuff around here, so hopefully nothing's happened. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. I hope so. I hope so. But yeah, other than that, it's just been a busy week. A lot going on. It's kind of the end of the month for me, and work wise, that poses a lot of extra things on my plate. So hey, Bronco 22, what's up? So yeah, I wanted to do another one of these things. Um, I was trying to prepare some visuals, but the cat going missing kind of threw that for a loop. But I want to do more like visual stuff, kind of mix it up a little bit, and just kind of tell stories about stuff or show y'all different things. Um, I got to talking to Moses about a couple of things yesterday, and it had a few things on my mind that I'd maybe like to share in one of these in the future. So I'm definitely going to do that because I love his stories, man. His stories are awesome. So I'd like to do some more of that. And I tell a lot of stories. I like to ramble and just talk and talk and talk. So I don't know if this is, I look kind of yellow looking. I don't know. I still look kind of, ooh, I don't know, y'all. Appreciate y'all watching me. I know it's tough. Um, but yeah, the, um, the cat running off kind of threw a wrench in some of the things I was going to do tonight. So we just hang out and hopefully have a good time. What's on y'all's mind? Have y'all had anything going on? Or I know I released that video yesterday on Cyrax, and that dude's a character, man. I um I wasn't really gonna mess with him too much. Just I kind of feel bad for him a little bit. Not as bad as some of these people, but he uh he just man, he just asks for it. He screws with people all the time, so it makes me want to do it. Plus, he just automatically gets on the phone and it's like going off, so makes it that much easier. Thanks, Alan. I appreciate that. I know you've heard a few of my stories, and yeah, I've got a lot of stories. Most of my stories deal with coworkers, which um, you know it can be a good thing, but some people get offended you tell stories about them. Um, but you know. a lot of my coworkers in the past have been really uptight, and then I've had some that are really laid back. So I usually tell more stories about the laid back ones in case they ever drop in here. Yeah, Manny the Moocher. He's rough, and that shit he pulls where he exposes himself on camera. That I can't believe he gets away. I mean, I guess he doesn't because they delete his channel, but that's crazy. I'm surprised someone ain't beat his ass for that. I think the only thing on his side is people thinking thinking he's because he's disabled or whatever he claims. I mean, he's obviously got something going on, and I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. Yeah, I could tell that story. So years ago, I worked at Publix, and where shopping is a pleasure. I don't know if any of y'all have Publix where you are, but it's grown a lot since I worked there. But I worked there years ago, and I worked in the deli during lunchtime, so I knew how to do just about every job except cut meat. That was the only thing I really didn't know how to do when I worked at Publix. Like I learned how to do everything, and I wasn't even a manager. I just wanted a lot of overtime. So I I was working at the deli during lunch rush because we worked near like a lot of industrial parks and things like that. And they would come in and get lunch or whatever, and a lot of construction stuff was going on. So it was construction crews and things like that would come through the deli. They'd get lunch, and I worked with this guy, and I forget his name. I could probably remember it if I thought about it. I'm not good with names. I'm better with faces. If I saw him, I'd probably remember him. But anyhow, he was a younger guy. He was probably about a year or two younger than me, and I was only like 18 or 19 at the time, and he was really strange. Um, like I know they was getting some kind of tax credit or something for him working with us. No joke. And I mean, he'd be bagging people's groceries, and he'd just lay like bread and eggs down, and you're like, yeah, man, good job, because I was training him at some point, and good job. And then he'd just take a cantaloupe or watermelon, just go poof, and drop it on there, and squish their bread and bust their eggs, and it's like, man, are you gonna get this or not? And one day, he comes to the deli during lunch rush, and he says, "Yeah, man." And I was always kind of friendly with him, and my policy on that was, "This dude's crazy, and I'm gonna make friends with him because he's liable to go crazy and murder us all one day." So I tried to be as friendly as possible. So he naturally kind of gravitated to me and would ask me questions if he ran into trouble or if something went wrong or if he had an issue with a customer or something. But he came over to lunch one day. He came over to the deli one day during his lunch, and I'm ready to make him a sandwich. I pull the bread out. He tells me the bread. Whatever. And he says, "I think I'm going to do Bologna today." And I said, "Bologna," and there's a little sign that hung up, over us. And I'm like, "Oh, what the hell, Bologna?" I had to look at the sign, and then I realized he said it was bologna. And I said, "Oh, bologna," and he says, "No, Bologna." And I said, "Okay, yeah, okay, whatever." And made a sandwich, went on about my day. Well, like, I don't know, I can't remember. It might have been before that. I think it was after that. Me and him I was teaching him how to fill up the floor machine to do the floors in the store at night when we closed. And I was showing him how to put the water in and everything and all that. And he kind of like tripped. "Hey, how's it going, Sarah? Hey, little wreaking havoc. I'm sorry, y'all, with this MF thing, man. I have to look at it again because it breaks up the words. And hell, I'm half illiterate anyway, as Durkee would say. But hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all coming in, telling a story about this guy I used to work with. Well, he like tripped. There was like a little basin, I guess you'd call it, on the floor, like kind of like a shower pan, and he tripped a little bit over it. He didn't fall. I wouldn't have laughed at him if he fell and like hurt himself. It was legitimate. He hurt himself, but he kind of like stumbled and was like, "Oh, okay," and caught himself. And I kind of snickered. I was like, "Hey, man, watch out," And he says, "You think it's funny? "Don't you call me yellow boy." And that's what he said. And I was like, "What?" And he says, "People make fun of me. They call me yellow boy." And I said, "Hey, man, I don't know anything about that shit, but I'm telling you right now, I wasn't trying to be pissy with you or make fun of you. It just was funny that you almost fell." And he's like, "Don't you ever call me yellow boy." And I was like, "Dude, you need to get the fuck out of my face." And that was pretty much the end of that. And I just kind of spoke to him from then on, but I never got like cornered by him again because I don't know what his deal was. Yeah, Kevin, you gave him a break. You gave her a break on that. Sometimes that's the way it is, especially when you're young. I can't stand autocorrect. Because I have an accent. If I use the let me close this or something. Hold on, guys. This thing keeps popping up. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but you log into these websites now, and it's almost like you got an app downloaded. Sorry. Yeah, having an accent, a country accent stuff. Sometimes it'll hear things funny when I do the voice to text, and I try to correct them before I send it, but it, you know, it's always something that I miss. It pissed me off earlier today. I was texting. I did voice to text, and I did it. Do y'all remember when that was a service you had to pay for? Does anybody remember that? I was trying to tell someone that the other day that used to be a service you had to pay for. And I remember getting a little brochure in this Nokia phone I had, and it was like one of those little pop out brochures, and it was talking about how useful it was, and you could call this number um, because we didn't have really apps back then. You call this number and say what you wanted to say, and the phone number that you wanted to text it to, and it would send a text on your behalf. It was like I guess they used like a spoofing technology or something. Yeah, that's the way it goes, Kevin. Hey, Dizzy Izzy, I appreciate you coming in. Good to see you. Yeah, I've got some stories about old coworkers. I used to work with this guy, and yeah, I don't know if I'll say his name, but I used to work with this guy, and he was from Haiti, and his cousin worked with me too, and he was from Haiti, and man, they were characters. So the cousin worked 3 jobs, and man, he was a hard worker, and I hated going out with him because when I'd go out with him on my route, I didn't go out with him like on a date. I just know that sounds weird. We had routes, and I went out with him on a route one day, and and um, so he was like, "Oh, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta get going, we gotta get going. Take your time, go take your time." And I said, "Well, I just want to make sure like if I was on somebody else's route, I wanted to do the best job possible because I don't want to be fucking their shit up. You know what I mean? Because what we did was we distributed alcohol, and you had to rotate beer and things like that because beer, a lot of it, especially domestic, goes bad fairly quick. It's not as fresh, and I didn't want to mess up his routines and how he likes to do things in his store. So out of respect, I'm kind of taking guidance. And he's like, "I don't give a fuck. You put on shelf. You move, 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 move." And I was like, okay, and I could do it pretty fast, especially ignoring the rules. So man, we get to rolling. We get to rolling. Hey, Wit, thanks for coming in. Hey, in the nest with Boss Lady, Bird, what's up? So we get to rolling, and he's like, "I have to make it to other job. You have one job. I have three." He reminded me of this all day long. But he was funny. And this dude hated Walmart. When I tell you this fucker hated Walmart, the first few times I rode with him, I couldn't understand what he was saying, but I did understand that he hated Walmart. Hey, Midnight Rider, he hated Walmart. This is what I heard the first few times I rode with him. I hate Walmart. Fuck Walmart. I hate Walmart. Walmart don't like Walmart. And he would go off, and it was just like, oh, Walmart, this Walmart, fuck Walmart. He was on the only route in the company that had like 10 Walmarts on it. Everybody else had like one or two Walmarts. This dude had 10. So I'm like, I don't know if they did that to punish him or if that's why he hates Walmart. I don't know, but he fucking hated Walmart. Well, I went out with him on his route, and he this happened a few times. Well, you know, he got into it with this manager, and he's like, we leave now," and we just pushed all the beer like in the back and like hid it because there was so much going on back there. And he was like, "They won't find," and we put that shit in the back, and we didn't see it for a long. Well, he said they wouldn't see it for a long time, and it didn't. The next time we came in there, it was gone. We had to go look for it. It ended up being like under something else. But yeah, that's the way to get away with things if you ever work like a distribution job and go to a Walmart. Just hide the shit. But that was his kind of story. He hated Walmart. He worked 3 jobs. Well, he brought his cousin over here. Like he saved up money and helped him get over here. And I'll tell you about him. Let me just speak to chat here. Moondog, what's up? Adrian Maynard, what's up? Rick Sanchez, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Bleezy Cheeks. Yeah, y'all know Rustin still calls me Bleezy Cheeks. I don't care though. It's pretty cool. He says, "Hey, Bleezy Cheeks." What's going on, y'all? Thanks again for coming, everybody. Spirit Ellington, what's going on? But yeah, so he brings his cousin over. His cousin works with us, hard worker. I don't think he worked 3 jobs, but he was a hard worker. He was a little bit older than him, and he uh, comes to work with us, and he comes on at this point. This is several months later because I had just started when I met the other guy. I had only worked there maybe like a month or two. So this was several months later. I had my own route. And they sent him with me. So I was kind of training him on the job, but his cousin had done like some after hours training and told him everything he needed to know. So he was pretty good, and I mean he was a real cool guy. I enjoy working with him. He went with me for maybe 4 or 5 times, and then he got his own route. Well, something happened one day, and they sent him with me for some other reason. I forget what happened. I think his truck didn't get loaded or something. There was some reason he came and helped me again, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm getting off early today." This guy was good, and I had a really busy route at that time. So he comes with me, and we go to this Kroger, and while we're in the back of this Kroger, they have like one pallet jack that works. And if you ever gone to any of these grocery stores and shit and done any kind of work like that, that's the case every now and again. You get some store that don't give a shit about their maintaining their equipment, or I think the employees, they'll pull the screws out of the hydraulic and let the fucking hydraulic fluid drain because so they'll say, "Oh, we don't have any pallet jacks, we can't work." And it's worse at Kroger than a lot of places. I think one reason is because their union's a bit corrupt, and I know there's some union people here, and I'm not trying to offend nobody, but at least back then, that was 12 or 13 years ago. I experienced it firsthand, and there was some crazy shit went on in Kroger's. But anyhow, because what would happen is like this guy here, he's at the top of the totem pole. He's got all the seniority. He's like, "I'm not doing that job. Fuck you." And he passes it down, and it gets to some guy who's making like minimum wage, and he says, "Fuck it." He throws the mop in the corner, and they never mop the floor. So that's what happens. But yeah, so there was one. Yeah, Kevin, you know what I'm talking about. There was one pallet jack that worked in the whole fucking store, and you had to jack it up real quick, or otherwise it would fucking start leaking down. Oh man, it was like you was working against time. Well, we get that. We finally get the hey wacky Jackie. Finally get the pallet jack. It's our turn to use it. We get our pallet out there, and I think we had 2, if I remember correctly. We roll them out on the floor. Well, while we're out there working, the Pepsi guy comes and he grabs the damn pallet jack and takes it off somewhere and starts doing his work with it. But we're still using it. Like we're almost done. We were almost done. And I stack everything up on one pallet, so we've only got one to move. And he goes over there, and like I say, he was a real cool guy. I never saw him get aggressive with anybody or anything else. But he goes over there to the Pepsi guy, and he says, "Hey man, we were using that jack." And the guy says, "You better find another one." And he's like, "Don't you have your own?" And this is true. A lot of Pepsi and Coke people had their own pallet jack, so I don't know why the hell he needed it anyway. But maybe he didn't have his that day. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Well, the guy, it's like, "I'm going to use it. He grabs the thing and says, "I'll be right back. We've only got one pallet. We'll be right back." He's just trying to smooth it over. And the guy like jumped at him, and the guy goes, "You talking to me?" And he like beat his chest. He like a switch flipped in this guy, and he's like, "You talking to me?" And like just went off on the dude. Well, they got into a fight, and the police came, and his immigration shit wasn't right, so he got taken to the jail, and some kind of way that weekend he got like deported or got in the process of getting deported, and we couldn't get him back. It was fucked up. It was really fucked up, and I was mad as hell because he was a good guy. I mean, like, I understand his shit wasn't right, and I'm not really, for illegal immigration. I think people need to go through the process. But I'm like, all the motherfuckers that don't get deported, and this motherfucker's holding down a job and doing what he's supposed to do and just had a bad day, and they jumped him to the front of the line. It was crazy. It was some crazy shit. I couldn't believe it, but yeah, man, I don't know whatever happened to that guy, but he was a cool guy. I really enjoy working with him. Hope it worked out for him. I really do. Yeah, Rick, he was either deported or they were like in the process of deporting him. Like he transitioned from the sheriff's department to ICE or something that weekend. It was fucking crazy, and they were like, "Oh, there's nothing they could do," because our boss was going to bail him out. That's how good of a worker he was. Yeah, I think so. At that time, that county that he got into the fight in, they had a ICE office in the jail. So I don't know. I don't. Back then, I wasn't as up on political stuff probably either. Um, but the way I understand it, they could just like transition him into their custody, and he would still be in that same facility, but he was already like on paper as being in the process of being deported. So yeah, it was sad. He was a cool guy. I really enjoy working with him. You worked there at Kroger, Moondog? I never worked at Kroger. I did Publix, and yeah, I liked working at Publix back then. I don't think I would like it now. They've changed a lot. A lot of these, a lot of these companies, man. They start off and they've got all this set of values, and they just sell one piece after that. Chick-fil-A's doing it. Chick-fil-A's becoming like everybody else, and that shit gets on my nerves. Yeah, I started off as a bagger at Publix, and I did that for like a year. Well, it was almost a year. And then one day, the whole grocery crew, the people that stocked the shelves, they fucking got mad and quit. And the manager was like, "You wanna work in the grocery crew? I'll give you $1.50 raise." And I said, "Okay, sure." And that's how I started learning everything. Cause forget what happened. Oh, I know what it was. So I worked on the grocery crew, and then I became a frozen foods clerk, which is basically grocery but frozen. And I worked over there, and then we had this lightning struck the back of the building, and we had this big power outage. Man, we lost almost all the frozen food, and we lost a lot of the dairy stuff. I worked like 20 hours that night. It was crazy. They couldn't get the power back on. We had to have like a frozen food trucks come in, and we put it all in baskets. We had people come from other stores to help us. It was crazy. But after all that, I forget what happened. They hired somebody new, or one of the people that was there decided they wanted to come and do frozen food or something. So my boss was like, "Yeah, okay, we'll train you to do these other things." So then I learned how to do like everything in the grocery department and all that. Um, I forget what happened. There was something that they weren't paying me what they told me they were paying me or something. They reduced my pay or something, and I told them, yeah, if I'm going to do this job, I'm going to get paid what people get to do this job. And they said, "Oh no, we have you in the system wrong." And I'm like, "Well, they have me down as a bagger still or some shit." And I said, "Well, I'll go bag groceries till you figure it out. If I'm getting paid to be a bagger, I'm gonna go bag groceries." Shit. So that's what I did, and it ended up working out because I ended up getting trained on how to do some other stuff as a result. Because I think once they gave me the money, they were like, "Okay, we're gonna train him to learn some other stuff." Which I say the money, it was like 10.50 an hour back then, and that was, I was one of the highest paid ones or some shit. It was crazy, hard to believe. Oh, at KFC, the buffet, man, they don't even have that anymore. I don't think, not at most locations. I It's rare to find even a Pizza Hut that still has a salad bar anymore. There's not many of those left. I remember when Wendy's had a salad bar. Does anybody remember that shit? Thank you, Rick. I'm sorry, I just saw your other comment. Thank you. I appreciate that you liked the video. I'm glad y'all watched it and enjoyed it. He's a character. Is that at Pizza Hut, boss lady? Or is that at Wendy's? I haven't seen one at Wendy's in years and years and years, but I do occasionally see one at a Pizza Hut. Lee's Chicken? I've never been to Lee's Chicken. I tell you what, y'all, I don't know what part of, well, yeah, you've said what part you're in. Um, I don't know if it's that far west, but that Tudor's biscuit place, I had that when I was up in West Virginia. That's kind of like a restaurant we have here called Martin's. They have like a breakfast lunch type thing. They're closed for dinner. I don't know if Tudor's is, but the menu was really similar. They have like chicken biscuits and all kind of biscuits, but they're more famous for probably their chicken biscuit. Sit down Pac-Man. I don't remember. I think so. I think so, Kevin. The one that had the little like stool built onto it. I remember those jukeboxes at Pizza Hut, man. I used to, even if I didn't have the money to put in them, I used to love pressing the button and making the CDs flip. That shit was cool. All the Pizza Huts around here now, we had one that had a salad bar in it, but it's gone. All the ones around here now are just the ones that are like in like a strip mall, and you just walk in and there's a counter, and most people order on the phone or online. There's no seats to eat in there or anything. I'm not a big Pizza Hut person. Y'all, here's a random fact. Durkee's favorite pizza is Pizza Hut. By the way, that's what he told me one night. He says, "Nobody pizzas like the Hut, motherfucker." So that's his favorite Pizza Hut. Is his favorite. So I'm not a fan of Pizza Hut really. To me, their pizza's really greasy. But I do like their cheese sticks. They're pretty good. Yeah. Okay, Kevin. Yeah, I think I do vaguely remember those. We had the jukebox, the Pizza Hut that I kind of grew up going to. They had the jukebox. They had those little sticker machines that you put like 75 cents in for one sticker. They had those, and you pull it out, and it's like got the cardboard folded over. You open it up and hope you got something good. And I feel like we had a Frogger game or something. We didn't have. I don't think it was Pac Man. I never liked arcade games. I always liked more console games at home. I know that's kind of a rarity for a lot of people. A lot of people really like arcade games. The only arcade games I ever really liked was like those Time Crisis games and stuff with the rifle that you play at like Dave and Buster's and stuff. Yeah, see, I was born in the '80s, but I kind of grew up in the '90s. But there was still some kind of relics and stuff around, you know what I mean? Hell, you still see a lot of those Pac-Man games. Minnie the Moocher, yeah. He said, "Nobody pizzas like the Hut, motherfucker." He got mad. I forget what I said. I said something about ordering Domino's or something, and he's like, "Nobody wants Domino's. Pizza Hut's the best pizza." Oh, I probably still got that recorded somewhere. I found a couple Durkee calls the other day that I had never put out. I keep finding them. I found a bunch of Donald stuff too, but I think I want to say that they were voicemails he left me. So I might have another video of just random moments too. Donato's. I never got to try Donato's. The Donato's that I was going to try closed before I ever tried it. So there's a pizza place that um, someone recommended to me called Shakey's Pizza. It's out of Alabama, I think, and they have them at other places too. But no, maybe it's not out of Alabama. I think it's from somewhere else, but the closest one to me is in Alabama. Maybe I think I got that wrong. But it's called Shakey's Pizza, and I've never had one of those before, but I've heard that they're really good. When I was on my road trip, we stopped at this place in Altarez, California, and man, they had some good pizza. And there was another place. We got pizza twice on our trip because we were gone almost 3 weeks. Um, there was another place in San Diego called I think it's Felipe's. I think it's Felipe's in San Diego, and it was really good. Man, they load that thing down with cheese, which I was mad because I take a cooler with me when I go on those trips, and I was like, oh well, we'll save it. And the damn, I put it in a bag, and it was cardboard, and some kind of way water got in the bag, and oh, I was mad. I hated to waste that pizza, man. I hated it, but it swole up, got soggy. You know, I don't think I've played that one, Rick. I don't think I played that game. I've played a lot of the old ones because my dad used to love. He used to love the arcade style games, and we had that Napco museum on PlayStation, and we bought him a joystick because he didn't like playing the games with us. So my dad, like, he wanted us to have those things, and he admired the technology that went into them, the work that went into them, but he didn't play them that much. But what would happen was he wanted to play those older games, but he didn't want to play them on a controller. He wanted a joystick. So he bought this joystick for the PlayStation 1, and it was as big as the PlayStation 1. It was like a third party controller. And that damn thing, I wish I'd have kept it because I saw it online recently and it was like $80. And it was built really well to be like a third party thing. I kind of wish we'd have kept that because there are some games that are just easier to play with that type of controller. Midlife crisis. Some of those food trucks are really good. Some of them are really good. It's a neat concept. If what's happening though is a lot of these cities are regulating the hell out of them. They started that to get away from some of the regulations you have to have for a brick and mortar restaurant. Well, then the damn cities and stuff started getting slick and trying to do the same thing to them. So, hey, Trump's next wife, thanks for coming in. But yeah, some of those food trucks are good. One of the guys I watch on Twitch, he started a food truck recently, and yeah, I think um, he's doing like country cooking type stuff, like soul food and things. So I hope it goes well for him. You're not stalking. You talking to me or someone else? Oh, Minnie the Moocher. Yeah, it is, Rick. That's what I'm saying. They're see what they would find little places in the code where they could. Oh, well, if it's if it's a vehicle, I won't have to do that. Well, all these cities and stuff, they got to have their money, so they start changing the ordinances and the rules. It's crazy. There's really the sad thing is unless you just find something that's brand new because of all the regulation, the taxation, and everything. There's really not an easy way to start up a business in America anymore and be successful in a way that the government doesn't come along and punish you for it. That's the sad thing about it. Yeah, yeah, I guess you would in a lot of cases because those trucks themselves, at least here in Georgia, they're not. You don't have to have a CDL for if you just bought one of those trucks. But I guess because you're using it for commercial purposes, I think sometimes that changes things. It's like when I was a kid, my dad had a school bus, like a full school bus. We bought it from the neighbor, and because he ran a Boy Scouts club, like a Boy Scouts troop or whatever, and he had several buses, and he was getting rid of that one. And my dad bought it for like $1,200 or something. It was a whole school bus. And let me tell you something: school bus is one of the toughest vehicles on the road. They're one of the only vehicles designed to roll completely over without doing any damage, and because they're so sturdy. So basically they're one of the only vehicles on the road that the roof can support everything under it. You know what I mean? Because they're carrying your kids and they're damn near bulletproof, except for the windows. But we went camping in it. And man, you want to talk about some fun times? I wish the hell I had one now. Everybody's doing that now. Back then we did it, and people were like, "You got a bus? That's stupid." But now everybody's trying to, "Oh, I want a little house. I want an RV. I want to do the nomad lifestyle and all that." And now it's like, hmm, I bet you I couldn't get one for $1,200. But yeah, yeah, you're a mess, Kevin. But yeah, it's tough to start anything like that nowadays. What's crazy is what can be like a B or a C. You know what I mean? There's at least in a lot of places, there's a lot of leniency on that car, and you got to look at the details because those are not those all those little check boxes aren't created equally. An old mobile. That makes me think of Better Call Saul, where he hops on the bus and starts talking to him about their lawsuit. I got to catch the end of that show, man. I got the AMC Plus. I did one of the little 7-day trials, and we were going to try to watch all of them in the 7 days. Because I don't, I'm real frugal, y'all. I try to save what I can. And the fucking AMC Plus is their premium subscription. They advertise Better Call Saul is like the thing. I'm thinking one of these days I'm going to get one of them little letters in the mail for a class action suit because no joke, they would only let you watch like the last 2 episodes. You couldn't watch the whole thing. They wanted you to buy those through Amazon. I'm like, well, that's stupid as hell. Money hungry, man. So I'm like, well, I'll just wait for it to come out on Netflix or something. I tried to use that damn VPN thing. They sell these VPNs and they'll say, oh, you can fool Netflix into thinking you're somewhere else in the world. And it used to work. When I first got it, it worked. Now they're like, ha ha, we see you're using a VPN. Like, this is bullshit, man. And they're also talking about cracking down on the password share. I'm sorry if they crack down on the password share, and I'm cutting Netflix off. I don't know about y'all, but I'm cutting that shit off because that's the only thing that makes it of value to me. They better bring that shit down to 8.99 again or 7.99 again like it used to be. Because if I'm paying damn near $20 a month for it, I better be able to use it in three or four, houses. Because, hell, everybody in my family uses my Netflix. Oh yeah, if you get to the C's, Kevin, man, if you get down to that C, they done subtracted so much stuff off, they're barely hanging on. Oh yeah, Rick. Well, I mean, you got those out of the way. You got those out of the way, but I guess yeah, I don't know. It's the same thing as kind of watching a prequel, though. I mean, if you go back and watch a season in the middle, kind of. I don't know, but I don't know. Prequels are engineered a little different, I guess, in the storytelling process. That's one thing I like about Better Call Saul and some of those other ones, though. They actually they actually did a prequel right. You know what I mean? There's not really any holes in that don't make sense. The most of them don't. Most of them screw up on a prequel. Yeah, Rick, is that how you're watching that? Oh, I got to get me another Fire Stick. I've been using my PlayStation 3, believe it or not, in my living room for a while now, and it's getting older, and I'm afraid I'm going to crash it trying to use Netflix or something, which would suck because that's how I play those older games and shit when I want to play them. So I think I'm gonna do a Fire Stick to watch the streaming services on, and that way I don't have to, have that thing tied up because it gets hot. I don't know if any of y'all had a PlayStation 3, but they those early models they have a tendency to get really hot. He was probably watching what you was watching. And don't get me wrong, I never had any issues with Tim. I know that he was a little bit dishonest based on what we found over over time, what's come out, but I didn't have any issues with him personally. I enjoyed him staying on Durkee's ass for the time that he was there in some of the videos, but God, some of the stories I've heard y'all tell, it really cracks me up. I'm thinking, man, this this was interesting. I find that kind of interesting though. I mean, there are people out here that are like side hustling on this whole Durkee thing, and I, I'm good. I enjoy the community and stuff. I enjoy y'all, but don't be asking me to join any of y'all's pyramid schemes or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I think I'm past the age, or maybe I'm just not in the right place at the right time anymore. But I used to get approached for those fucking pyramid schemes constantly, especially when I was like in my 20s. Constantly, man. I got approached for that noni water, that Tahitian noni, not water, but it was like Tahitian noni juice. I got approached with this guy selling regulated gas service or deregulated gas service. I got approached with people selling something called hell was that? It was like Zango juice or some shit. It was like a competitor to Fiji water. I think I'm past that age or something where everybody's trying to get you in on that. This one guy, he used to sell water filters, and that was his big thing. And he wanted me to get in and buy like a truckload of these things with him, and we'd split the money after that. After I went up front with him on all the water filters, we'd split the money coming in. And I'm like, well, how much are you paying on the water filters? He's like, oh, I'm paying 20%. I said, well, how are we going to split the the money coming in off of them? Oh, 50-50, man, 50-50. It's all fair. Like, that's not fair. Paying 80% of the cost and getting 50% of the money. I didn't watch The Wire, Kevin, but I love Sopranos, man. I love Sopranos. There are a few holes in Sopranos that I found though over the years that I've realized didn't make sense story wise. I think it's because they had so many different people writing different episodes. But it was still a good show, still worth the watch. Hey, Ada Cox, thanks for coming in. Nah, man, Durkee's only. I want to say Durkee's ever only actually called me maybe once or twice. That's one thing I respect about Durkee. Durkee doesn't fuck with you back. He just is like, God, don't call me no more, and hangs up the phone. Donald will burn your number up if you call him and he realizes that you're screwing with him, or if he's got a story to tell. Like if he's got something to tell you, Donald will leave you 4 or 5 voicemails a day until he gets the story out. Usually the fifth one is him going, and falling asleep. And then he calls you back the next day and says, I don't know what I told you last, but let me tell you what I need to tell you. I've got found a few of those the other day. I might put those in a video. The Coroner. I hadn't seen that one. Hey, Cole. Wait a minute. There we go. Sorry, this jumped off. Hey, Cole. Yeah, I hadn't seen The Coroner. Yeah, Donald is nuts. I'm waiting on his next rant. Oh, speaking of that, so the last time I did this, I said, "Oh, we got material for the next one," because it wasn't 20 minutes after I got off of the damn live stream that he comes on there, and I put a little, I guess it's a chopped and screwed video that I put on there of him and what he said, but he claimed that I was going around begging people for money, saying I was him. Now, he said that in his video, he said that um, he had gotten text messages from all these people saying that some guy named BleezyChuckles was begging for money and saying they was him. Now, who in the hell in their right mind would go begging? If I was going to beg for money, I'd just come out here. Hell, I got more subscribers than he does. I'd say, hey, y'all, give me a few bucks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to beg for money, and I damn sure ain't begging for money in Donald's name. So it's funny though. He talks about it's a shame people come out here asking for money on the internet, and I'm thinking, dude, you spent 3 or 4 months asking people for money, talking about how everyone got you fired and stuff. That cracked me up, man. That cracked me up. Yeah, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul's good. Yeah, Rick, it does. It takes a long time. Yeah, that number keeps going up. So it was his standard like $37 an hour. Well, I had a text feed going with him recently, and he says, I make $52 an hour. I said, ooh. So that's an upgrade. You usually make 37 or 36. I forget what it is. He goes all over the place. But for a while there, he said he made 36, I think it was, an hour. I like when he texts though, because oh man, you can tell he's using the voice thing. Truth is stranger than fiction. My dad used to always say that. Well, he still says it sometimes, but yeah, some of the people you meet in real life are crazier than the people you could imagine. Oh, he's 195 now? He was 180, I think it was. He said, I'm 180 pounds, 41 years old, boy. I appreciate it, Kevin. I just thought it was hilarious. I'm glad I got the shout out from Donald. But he said, "What is this guy? He must like me or something. He must be attracted to me or something." And then I put all the times he was saying my name on that one video. He's funny. Yeah, and there's usually always a message that says, "You know my family's famous from West Virginia. They made a movie. You know a movie?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, we was in a movie." Yeah, they probably gave him a raise and a gold star. Thanks, Moondog. He's man. I know I can't get the voice quite right. You got to take a lot of pills to get that voice. Hey, boy. he he uh he said something one day. I wish I could think of what he said, but it had me cracking up for the longest time. My favorite thing still is they're hiding behind pictures of old women, guys. They're hiding behind pictures of old women. Do you see me hiding behind pictures of old women? That's why I did that thing as Sean Feldman. I tried to play on that because I knew it pissed him off. That because old hag has that picture, and then I think somebody else had a picture at one point, and that's those are the only two people I think he could be talking about. But he was he was pissed off about it. I was like, "You believe they're hiding behind pictures of old women or something like that?" What did I say? I said, some of these guys have got pictures of old women on their profile. Do you know anything about that? Seems to be a trend." Oh man, he was pissed about that. What was that video? Rick, did you post that video that I saw the other day? It was from back in May, and I must have missed it while I was out of town. But he was talking about they're not gonna believe it. Why wouldn't they believe it? Why they're not gonna believe it? It's like that meme that they play on stuff. It's just, they're never gonna know. How would they know? That's what it is. They're never gonna know. And I was like, what the hell? It's funny how he'll do that. He'll try to be funny, and then he'll shit just goes crazy, and he'll fly off the handle. Oh yeah, I don't know, man. He's gone downhill though the last couple of years. Hopefully he gets it together. It wasn't you. Maybe it was old hag. It was somebody recently I saw. A lot of times I'll just listen to these videos, but maybe it was. Maybe it was. It was back in May. So I don't know how I missed it, but you go on your like YouTube homepage and it I guess it's algorithms and stuff. It'll mix like a few people you subscribe to videos you didn't watch, and then it'll put like some new videos similar to those, and it was on there. But then my subscriptions, I've been kind of aggravated with my subscriptions because there's some of my subscriptions that don't show up, and that pisses me off. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody's comment over here because I forget that YouTube. Kevin, you had a couple here. Let's see. You work with a Chinese guy named Lou who was crazy. Only two things he could say was fuck and sweet Lou. That's funny. I'm sorry I missed that. So I've got another window over here for my YouTube window, and yeah, Wacky Jackie Chief Pounder Hard said hi. I think it's your name. I think it's your name, Chief. That it's like censoring or something. I hate all this censorship. It's getting really ridiculous. I appreciate that, Kevin. I'm only a small piece of this, and I got in late in the game, in my opinion. I had so much fun though watching everybody else, and when I got a hold of Durkee's phone number, I was like, yeah, because I think we've all kind of got in where we fit in, if that makes sense, and used the talents we had to kind of mess with whoever in the fashion that we could. And you know, that's just kind of where I fit in. Like I like to mess with people on the phone and that sort of thing, and kind of get a rise out of people, or get them uncomfortable where they say stuff or share things. Is that what she got into a fight with her about? It could be. I don't know whatever happened with that whole situation because they seem to have made up or something. You would think you would think that they would something more would have come out about that by now. I'm interested in this whole sugar daddy thing. I don't know. I have my own opinions about that. I find it interesting that anybody would be that hung up on her to that degree, but good luck to him. The if you're paying for stuff like that, girls like that are a dime a dozen. I don't know why you wouldn't just move on. So either he's gotten hung up or he's desperate or something, but or he's not a sugar daddy, he's a pimp or something. But that's just my thing. I don't know. I don't know. I think they're all just about fools to a certain degree. You know what I mean? Just different brands of a fool. And you said potty chair. It made me think in Moses's video the other day where Durkee was talking about his. He was talking about something. He said something about his video game, and he said something else. And Moses said, "I'm a big boy now." He took a little drink of his Gatorade or whatever he was drinking that night. That shit had me cracking up. His uh his theory on those girls wanting to be there was kind of interesting, though. I said Durkee's just a delusional Forrest Gump. You know, it's like he has to be there for every crucial moment in history. He's just, he just knows somebody. He was on the phone with them. He was there. They were face to face. Well, they weren't. They were in another room. His story changes all the time. But like I say, Forrest Gump was there for all these crucial moments in history. Durkee's just a delusional version of that. Yeah, I don't like that sugar daddy shit. That's I don't like none of that. There's way too many money whores out here in the world nowadays. I know, I just it's a money whore, and people can say whatever they want to say, but I mean, I guess I get it. If guys are dumb enough to do it, and women are smart enough to capitalize on it, well, that's just the way it is. But I don't want no woman that's been involved in that, and I won't be the man involved in that. That's fucking stupid to me. What's up, Maddie Marinara? Thanks for coming in. Run, Dorky, run. I know, right? Thanks, Maddie Marinara. I appreciate it. Yeah, if y'all would, I appreciate it. If y'all like the stream, it does help out when we get the likes on the main page as well. So thank y'all for being here, but also thank you for hitting that like button. But yeah, there's not really much going on in all that. So, and that's not like my main focus. I enjoy just coming here, having a good time, and laughing with y'all, whether it be about Durkee Donald or some, you know, some type of nostalgic shit we all get to talking about. Well, I know we talked about Eddie Murphy movies on the first one of these, I think it was. And man, I was watching Coming to America this week. Like I say, I had kind of an up and down week as far as stress and just shit going on. and that's one of those movies that I can just have a good time watching. I didn't really intentionally watch it. I just kind of listened to it while I was playing, but and I do that with a lot of movies I've seen over and over. But man, that's just one of those movies that just it'll put a smile on my face. Friday's another one that I really like. Um, I really like this movie called Five Easy Pieces. Do y'all know that one? It's a Jack Nicholson movie. It's got shit. I don't know. I got to stop getting in these conversations without pulling up the uh, was it IMBD or IMDb? I can't remember. IMDb. I always say it wrong. Those are bleezyisms. Since Turkey's got turkeyisms, I'll do bleezyisms, I guess. I, I'm a big movie person. You know, I do the video game streams on Twitch, and I have a lot of video games, and I suck at a lot of video games. I really do. I'm terrible at them. Uh, so, but movies I really like. I just can't remember actors' names. So, Five Easy Pieces is Drop Dead Fred. I used to love that when I was a kid. I used to love that movie. And I forget what it was. We went one time to Media Play. Does anybody remember Media Play? I used to love that store. Media Play and Borders Books and Music. Those were my two favorite stores growing up. I loved the books and the movies and the CDs and stuff you could get at those places. Hey, Dirk's cabinet door. Sorry, I thought I heard something. Um, I love the stuff you could get at those places, but we went there and looked for Drop Dead Fred and couldn't find it. And the next time it was coming on TV, I had the damn VCR ready to go because I was going to get me a copy of Drop Dead Fred. I know Minnie the Moocher, and you know when you talk to people that aren't in this circle, they think you're crazy because of it. But then they'll turn around and say, "Oh, did you see the Keeping Up with the Kardashians reunion or some shit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I didn't." Uh oh, bear with me just a moment. I done messed something up here. There we go. Um, but yeah, they're like, "Oh, you know, did you watch the Basketball Wives reunion or something?" And I'm like, "Nah, sure didn't," because they're just as obsessed with that stuff as we are with the Durkee stuff, probably, maybe even more. Yeah, that water heater got them, Sarah. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, Did you watch some of that? I that's a real chill game. That's it's one of those games I'll play after work or something here or there. I'm about all the way through the damn thing. I'm as far as the career mode or whatever. It's a chill game. It's one of those ones that I just like to relax. Hey Mandy, thanks for coming in. I like to relax and play it a little bit. It's like you don't have the anxiety that something's gonna like sneak up to you and stab you or something like a lot of these games. I've been playing Fallout 4 for a while now. I'll play it, you know, every couple of weeks or something. I went for a while and didn't play it because I kind of got aggravated with it. But that damn game, man, it's you got to level up so far just to get through the game. So I got to a point where I was just spending time doing all that. And it's cool. I mean, it's a really good game. It's a little bit glitchy. A little bit glitchy. They could have done a better job on some of those glitches because there's stuff that like won't spawn and things like that. But I'm actually really enjoying that game. But I put a lot of hours into it, especially all that settlement building crap. You know, where you got to build settlements for the people or they get attacked. And man, they but Five Easy Pieces is what I was pulling up, and it's got Jack Nicholson, Karen Black, Billy Greenbush, Fannie Flagg, Sally Struthers, Richard Stahl, Lois Smith. Tony Basil was in it too. I don't know if y'all know that. She was the one that, "Oh, Mickey, you're so fun." She was in it, but man, that movie is one of my favorite damn movies. It's kind of like it's like a ironic comedy kind of movie. There's a little bit of romance. It's got like a complex male character. It's really good. I really enjoy that movie. If you've never seen it, it's definitely like one of my top five probably. So that's one that I can enjoy because there's just little things about it that he gets so damn mad. And there's one part where they get stuck in traffic, and he's a pianist. Like his family's all famous musicians, but he just does regular work and does like odd jobs and stuff. He's kind of like a black sheep of the family. And they get stuck in traffic, and they're like hung over, and he's like, "This is bullshit. Isn't this a great way to start your day? Can you imagine this?" And he gets out in traffic, and he goes up to this truck a couple cars in front of him, and gets on the truck and pulls a sheet off this piano and starts playing the piano. Well, then traffic clears, and it takes him off somewhere, and he has to walk home. It's a damn good movie. Yeah, Kevin, I never really watched much YouTube before this. I would watch YouTube for informational purposes. Like, oh shit, I just did this. How do you replace the bolt on such as or some crazy, I'd get into a sticky situation with my car or something else, you know, and have to look up a video, but yeah, or something electronics, I watch a lot of videos on how to repair things and like how to solder different things and circuit boards and stuff. But oh wow, that's crazy, Kevin. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to check that out. He's a character from what I've seen. I like stuff like that where you create kind of a I mean, I wouldn't do nothing like that probably just because people are so sensitive and YouTube's so sensitive, but I can enjoy the comedic value in something like that if that makes sense. But yeah, I used to now I did watch pranks on YouTube, but as far as like seriousness, I would just use it for informational things. I watch vlog creations, which used to be Ross Creations. That's one that I love his videos, man, and he brings so many people into his stuff. And Ed Bassmaster, those are two of my biggest ones. Jack Vale's another big one that I really like. Um, I watched this one dude named I think it's like Kavinsky something, and he has this one he plays. It's called the Creeper, and he's a big guy. He's like a weightlifter. He's like he does competitive weightlifting, and he has a I don't know, Manny. I would be happy if he did. I'd like to hear his comments on it. I really would. I don't discourage him from coming here if he's not going to attack people. I'm fine with it. But this dude's a big guy and he's Russian, but he's pretty Americanized if that makes sense. And he walks around in this like coverall outfit, and he's got like these glasses that are taped together, and he's carrying around a plunger, a toilet plunger, and he walks around. And he's like, "My name is William Higginbottom, and I'm gonna make a YouTube video." Have y'all seen that? This dude's hilarious, man. And I don't like a lot of his pranks, but I like that character he is. He's got one where he goes to this university, and man, some of these people are so sensitive nowadays. He walks in there with a camera phone, and of course, he looks kind of creepy with the plunger and stuff. And he's like, "You can go ahead." And the guy says, "Well, what are you doing?" He says, "I'm here to learn." Oh man, it's funny as hell. He's like, I'm here to learn. Well, they like evacuate the damn building and start walking the kids out, or they get, well, they're not kids. I mean, most of them are adults at that point, but the college students, they start walking them out and evacuating the damn building because of him. And I'm like, man, you guys are so sensitive, need your safe space and all that. I just don't understand this bubble wrap society. I think we were all the much better off when people got hurt and when people, slipped and fell and said, "Hey, dust the fuck off and let's keep moving." But you know how that goes. You can't have a society built where people are self-sufficient. That don't work out too well. Not for the people who are in charge anyway. So, but yeah, this guy's funny. His most recent one, I think that I've seen, he did two, but one of his most recent ones, he gets in this Uber like randomly. So the whole setup is he's going to get in this Uber, but it was actually for someone else. So that someone else calls and he should have went to Miss Davis' class. What was his wife's name? Mr. Davis. Oh, Mrs. Davis. Mrs. Davis. That was Mr. Davis's wife's name. But yeah, he so the someone else guy calls him. He's like, "Where are you at?" And this big dude's sitting there in his front seat with the plunger, and the guy's like, "You need to get out. You need to get out now." It was so funny. He's like, "I just want to ride." It's funny as hell. His other little character is Mr. Wellington, and he does his Russian accent, which is, I guess, the way he originally talked. And he speaks Russian and stuff. He's, I'm Mr. Wellington. And he comes in and he'll walk behind the Subway counter and just start making himself a sandwich and shit. Oh, man, it's funny. Those people go crazy, call the police on him, everything. He had one where he went in the Chick-fil-A and was like smoking. And that they got mad at him for smoking, but they were mad because he didn't have a mask on. I think he was in California or somewhere, and that was their main reason for kicking him out was the fact that he didn't have a mask on. Let me look him up because I don't want to say it's the wrong one, and you go watch some other asshole and be like, "What the hell is this guy?" Um, Let me see. It's so weird when you get used to navigating YouTube on your phone. Okay, this is his name, and yeah. I mean, let me see if why can't I link? Just don't click on his thing and leave our live now, okay? Hang out with me. Let's see. I don't know why it won't let me share the link. Let's see. Do I not have a wrench in my own channel? What's going on here? Okay. I'll just pull up a video and share the link to a specific video. And then, oh, I know what I can do. I'll just post it on my community tab, guys. I'll just do that. I'll post a link to his channel on my community tab. I'll do that after this stream. But check him out. He's pretty funny. I don't like all of his pranks because I don't like his style. He has this style similar to somebody he used to work with called Cassidy Campbell. And I used to really like Cassidy Campbell, but some of his characters are a bit. Uh, oh, thanks, Kevin. I appreciate it. Some of his characters are a bit just ridiculous, over the top, if that makes sense. Like I get you're trying to get a reaction out of people. You're trying to be a little bit over the top, but there's a classy way to do it, and there's not. And some of this guy's pranks and almost all of Cassidy Campbell's pranks became that way after a while, where it was just like yelling obscenities and things like that, just to get people's attention. Like I cuss, but I'm not going to go to a mall where there's families and stuff out and about and start yelling and screaming obscenities just to get people to look at me. That's just I don't know. I don't like that. I don't respect that to the same level, you know. Um, and there was another guy that I used to really like watching. I forget his name. I'll probably never remember his name because I only subscribed to him for a little while, and he was really funny. But like one day, he was like, "Oh yeah, we got to get some more views," and yeah, that's him, Kevin. Uh, he's like, "Oh, we got to get some more views," and he just starts going into WalMarts and like screaming at people and doing just really like hateful shit. And I get turned off by that. Like I like people who like positively want to have a good time and maybe get a little rise out of people, but not that's not my style. You know, that was Donald's video. Yeah, yeah, that's right. He was talking shit about all those people at Wal. I don't. Donald's big. Like Donald hates people with red hair. He hates gay people. He hates black people. He hates fat people. He hates anybody that he doesn't perceive to be himself. And even then, like he talks shit about people begging for money. Like that's you. He talks bad about people on drugs. That's you. So there's a lot of hypocrisy in that. So he's funny. I appreciate that, Kevin. I was just giving you a hard time, but yeah, I like Ed Bassmaster and Jack Vale and Jack Vale's Uncle John. His Uncle John has a channel called Uncle John, but he's kind of got tired of it. I don't know if y'all know what happened with him, but I don't know the whole story. But from my understanding, he just got tired of all the censorship and people just telling him you can't do this, you can't do that, you offended me. And I think he just got tired of it. He's doing another channel now that's like boating and stuff. He talks about his boat and different things. He's a cool guy. I like Uncle John, but I don't know if y'all ever watched him, but he had a lot of pranks where him and Jack would go to like Walmart or somewhere and they would just put random shit in people's buggy, like really random stuff. And people are like, come, especially if they had kids, they're like, did you put this in here? And the kids would start getting in trouble. Oh man. Yeah, Uncle John has some good ones, but he hadn't posted in probably 2 or 3 years. He had one where he went to Popeyes and bought a pie. Well, he's missing like part of his finger, like this much of his finger, right? So it's like literally gone and been gone for years. And he spilled the pie or something and told her he burned his hand, told the manager he burned his hand. Well, later on they come back up there and he's like, "Look what happened. My finger fell completely off." And she's like, "That didn't happen. Did we do that?" And she's real skeptical of him. And she's like, "We didn't do that, did we, sir?" Because she knows he's full of shit. But it's so funny because he's like, "No, it all burned away. It melted. It just fell off." Oh man, that was like one of the last ones he did. But yeah, I think he just got tired of that stuff. Some of the people that don't post that much anymore is like Tom Abe. Tom Abe was funny. I enjoy watching his stuff still. But I'll put these things on YouTube and just like have them going. They'll go from one video to the next. Of course, Ed Bassmaster, he started off doing phone pranks. He's got one where he calls us Elmo, and he's like, "This is Elmo," and he says, "Oh, I took the vitamins. I took the whole jar." And he says, "My skin turned red, and my nose turned orange, and my eyeballs look like ping pong balls." And the guy's like, "You need to go to emergency room right away." And he's like, "Really?" And he's doing it the whole time in the Elmo voice, which I can do, barely for a short period of time. But he's like, "Elmo don't like no owls," and he says, "You need to go to the hospital right now." He says, "Really? Elmo hurt. Elmo's eyes as big as ping pong balls." And it's just funny. He's like, "I took the whole bottle of vitamins." And that's one of my favorite prank calls of his. He does one as that, and he does a real good Kermit the Frog voice too. I can't do Kermit the Frog at all, but Ed Bassmaster's man, that's a talented guy right there. Really talented. He was working on a I believe it was a Netflix special. I'm looking forward to that if that comes to fruition. But yeah, good stuff. I wish I could play some of these videos on here. One, I don't want a copyright strike, but I still can't. I still have been damn, I can't talk. I've still had difficulty getting the audio to come all the way over to the screen, to the YouTube page. It's like the audio won't. I thought it was something when I set up my OBS stuff that it wasn't working right, but the audio will not carry over all the way, if that makes sense. So either y'all don't hear it or it's really muffled. And hey, thanks for coming in, Chanel. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. So let's see. And it may just be guys that I have to do this on Twitch because I know for a fact my stuff will carry over on Twitch. So maybe I'll do a just chatting stream on Twitch one day. I don't know if y'all are on Twitch, but if y'all will follow me over there, um, if y'all will go on Twitch and follow me when I have one and you get the alert, you'll know I'm on there because I know I can do it on there. And I haven't ever done a just chatting stream on Twitch. So if anybody's on Twitch, please follow me over there. It's the same name. And one of these days I'll do something like that over there. Maybe we'll just watch funny videos or something. If y'all are up for that. Because I can't figure out how to make this work. And when I tell you I've spent a lot of time on my Twitch channel trying to get it to work right, and I've got it where I want it, hopefully. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. I'm glad y'all can hear me okay this time. I know we had that little audio issue for a little bit. Yeah, well, I'd love to have y'all on there if y'all already have an account. It's not difficult to create one if you don't already have one. There's a lot of people that actually have them and don't game, that just do, you know, various things. Bear with me just a moment, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure this cat ain't come back. I hear a dog barking like crazy. So if you bear with me just a moment here. That's crazy. Wacky Jackie. Did that have anything to do with the turkey dying 2 times or whatever? Or was that something you had before? Oh, okay. That's funny. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was looking at my cameras to see if he came back because I don't know. I hope he comes back. He's a sweet cat, and I've never had a cat, but I've really enjoyed him. I'm not really a cat person. I'm more of a dog person, but he's got a nice little personality, so I hope he's okay. That's funny. I thought I had you on there. I may follow you on I may follow you. I think I do follow you on Twitch. Or we're friends or something on there, Jackie. I believe so because I think you'd shared that with me before. I feel like I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I don't see it here. Uh, 22X. I'm not. Maybe I don't have it up here right. Oh, here it is. I found it. I thought I followed you. Maybe you're following. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I saw you follow me and I didn't follow you back. I'm sorry. Yeah. Durkee quit doing it on Twitch, I think. Twitch didn't like Durkee. And I can't believe it like Cyrax because Twitch is very sensitive. Twitch and TikTok are probably the two most sensitive pieces of social media there are. They don't play. I get aggravated with Twitch, not because I want to say anything crazy, but what they consider crazy is just ridiculous to me. Like I don't like this idea of we're going to tag everything about someone. Like me being a man doesn't have anything to do with me streaming video games to me. Now, you could say, "Oh, well, I like watching men play games." Okay, maybe. To me, the relevant things are like what the game's about, what you're doing in the game, all that stuff. But they've done this system where it's like, you know, this person's black, this person has ADHD, this person they're gay or whatever, right? And they get to put all these tags on there. And that's fine. I don't particularly find it relevant, okay? But they specifically ban things that say heterosexual or white or male. And I think that's kind of shitty because it implies that you don't get representation and you're like the default vanilla version of everything. And I don't like that. I just think that's kind of weird. Um, oh yeah, Kevin. They used to just not have those tags. Now they actively, if you put those tags in, they'll actively downgrade your shit, and you won't be. It won't validate basically. So it'll just be like a blank stream. Yeah, it's kind of shitty. I don't like it, and I'm not gonna. I'm not like, oh hey, blank power or whatever for anybody. You know, white, black, whatever. I don't care. I think everybody should be able to be themselves, and they shouldn't be persecuted for it. And I I I don't think you need a fucking button on your chest saying I'm this or that or Billy Bob or whatever the fuck. Like everything's so political now, and the thing that I got on here for was to get away from politics. If I wanted to watch politics, believe me, it's been around me for many, many years, very close, and I could just there's plenty of opportunity for me to be involved in politics. And I've taken that opportunity before, and it's not something that makes me happy. So that's why the fuck I'm doing other things with my life. But all this bullshit about, oh, I deserve a leg up because of this or because of that. And I just like everybody deserves to be accepted for who they are and just be yourself, and you shouldn't be persecuted for it, and leave all that shit behind you. We went from a generation, like in the 60s and 70s, the hippies of those generations, they didn't say, "Oh, I want labels applied to me." They didn't want that. They wanted to be free and outside the box. To the new generation of hipsters and woke people and all these yuppies and stuff that are like, oh, I want to be this label and that label. Stick this label on me. I want this label. And they have to have 4 or 5 fucking bumper stickers on their car. They got so many fucking bumper stickers on their car, they can't fucking drive. You wreck your shit trying to read what they represent. It's just fucking aggravating. I don't know. That's just my rant for tonight, y'all. Hey, 555 triple nickel. What's up? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being here. You came in at a high point of me getting fired up about all these people wanting buttons on their chest for everything they represent, as opposed to just walking through life and being themselves and being happy to be who they are, being accepted for who they are. Yeah, yeah. I have strong political beliefs. Don't get me wrong, Kevin. I really do. I have very strong principles which guide a lot of my political beliefs. But don't think for a second that I don't piss off people on both sides of the spectrum because one thinks I'm to the other, if that makes sense. On certain topics, there's certain topics that come up, and one's like, "Oh, you believe in this? You're not one of us." And I'm like, "No, no, no. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you believe in it right here, and I have this one little exception to that belief. Nope, you're not one of us. You're one of them." And the same thing on the other side, because I have various beliefs that I just I don't fit in one box, and that's why I probably don't do well in the political world because um, I'm just outside the box, and everybody wants the simplification of having a tag on everything and a button on everybody's chest saying what they believe in, and I'm just not that guy. So, and I'll never be that person. I can't be. I've realized I've tried to conform to certain things, and I'm just not that person. You know, and that's why a lot of things probably don't work out for me, and that's fine. I'd rather be unsuccessful at something and be myself than be extremely successful and not even know who the hell I am anymore. And there's so many people in politics and entertainment and all this stuff. They've sold themselves so far down the line that they don't know who the hell they are anymore, and they don't know what they're in it for, and that's why their material sucks. You know, clout chasing. Is that what you said, Triple Nickel? I may have missed it. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, Triple Nickel. I'm tired of the drama. I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of the drama. Thank you, Chevy. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm tired of the drama. I really am. I don't understand. Uh, I don't understand how we get here. I do find it odd. Um, I guess there's different people on different parts of the spectrum in this community, and a lot of people are kind of coming into this community from other communities. There's different people on different parts, and I don't mean the autism spectrum. I can't even say that word without that coming up now. There's different people on different parts of the spectrum as far as where they are with what they're trying to do here. There are a lot of people here that are just purely opportunistic people. And sure, we all have capitalized to a certain degree on the Durkee stuff. I don't think any of us can deny that. But it's just kind of material that meshed in with what we've done. There's some people that are purely opportunistic. They see this as an opportunity for them to come in and make something of themselves or add to their stuff, and they'll make friends with whoever they think can help them get there. They'll try to get there. They'll stab those people in the back or sell them out. And that's one kind of profile of people that we see lately that I've seen. Then there's another profile of people that are just like hell bent on sticking with the same circle of people, regardless of what those people do. And the minute that you question that, they're like, "Oh, you're not loyal," and you've stabbed us in the back and you've sold us out. And I think that's equally dangerous, if that makes sense. And I'm not calling out anybody in particular. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but I think there's a particular group of people that also are tightly wound to this idea that um, don't break the circle. And there's just a lot going on. I'm really blown away by some of it, but you know what? I'm gonna remain neutral in pretty much everything unless I see somebody do a direct wrongdoing or something that I just I'm not gonna get on here and make a video calling somebody out. That's just not my style. I'm not gonna be disrespectful to people who do it. I'm not denouncing people who do it. If you feel you need to call somebody out, go for it. But I'm here to kind of entertain people and make fun of Durkee and Donald and whoever else comes along, Cyrax or whatever. This YouTube for me is just very random, and I'm very random, and I may come on here next week and start doing talking about music or movies or books or something. That's just me. But I'm not going to call anybody out. But if I had to cut ties with somebody, it would be because of a true wrongdoing and something I saw them do just wrong and that I couldn't stand with. That's just me. Some people, they get their feelings hurt and the next day they're making a video saying, "Oh, this and that, I don't want this person around no more. Everybody, if you're friends with them, don't be friends with me no more and don't watch my stuff no more." And I just think I don't know, that's just not one, it's not good marketing. Two, it just I don't know, it's really thin skin to be on YouTube. Yeah, I agree, Chevy. You don't see that much in this community, and when you do see it, it's people a lot of times that are new to this community and not really established. Yeah, and there's plenty of opportunity for that too. We have so much social media, and almost everybody's in a Discord or something. There's ways to reach out. You know who people are mutual friends with. There's ways to reach out. And that's my thing. And I agree with that too. The unfollow button. That's my thing. Hey, unfollow, unsubscribe, whatever you need to do. If you truly, if you truly, if you truly are done with someone, just move on. There's millions and millions and millions of hours of content on this platform, and if you're unhappy with what you're seeing, unfollow, unsubscribe. I get it, and I want people to support me as much as anybody on YouTube. But if I'm in a situation where you don't want to watch me anymore, I'd rather you just move on and we just okay. I'm not what you're. There's lots of people that I've subscribed to, not so much in this community, but over the years, there's lots of people that I subscribe to, and I'll watch their videos for months, and then I'm like, yeah, it's like the Cassidy Campbell that I was talking about earlier. I watched Cassidy Campbell for probably 4 or 5 years, and he just went down this path of getting more and more extreme, and I said, it's not really where I'm at anymore. It's not really what entertains me anymore. So that's the amicable way of breaking up with somebody on YouTube. You hit unsubscribe and you move on. And I don't see the need to call everybody out. I don't see this whole like I don't, before all this I didn't know who Upchurch was. I had seen some videos with him in them, but I don't understand this. Like, let's call Upchurch out or let's call this person out. And to me, a lot of times when you have those that are just like that direct calling somebody out, they tag the person in and all this stuff, and it's more of a publicity stunt, in my opinion. So it's nice if you have something to expose somebody and there's truly something you have that no one else is offering, that's one thing. But like just picking a fight of words on YouTube with someone, I just don't get it. It just feeds the drama, I guess, is what bothers me about it. It's not that I don't think you should have a voice if that's what YouTube's for, I guess. But I think it just feeds the drama. It's not really what I'm here for. I hope y'all can see these comments I approved. YouTube's kind of dinging a few of them. Oh, Kevin, you just said ding. That's weird. Let's see. I may have missed something, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of unspoken drama too, and I don't like that. The Gobbler stuff, I never could. I haven't been able to get into it, and there's so much going on there. Even the Cyrax stuff, I can only watch so much of his stuff. Kevin shared with me some stuff yesterday that I've been watching and kind of catching up on some things, so I appreciate that. Um, because there's so much content out there, and a lot of it's just him going, "Rah!" And I'm not going to listen to that with or without the keyboard in the background. What's going on, Griswold? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate that. Yeah, I still, I still laugh because one of the first videos I saw of Cyrex that y'all shared in this whole thing was that one where he was like banging his head. In the background, there's a dent in the wall. And I always laugh about that because I said something on that video. I was like, "Is that the dent that Donald was gonna put in everybody's head or something?" Oh man, when I see stuff like that, I just want to go over there with some spackling and just cover that damn thing up. I should call him up. I was wondering if I could come over there and spackle your wall, fix that hole in the wall, dear boy. I had to do that. I saw you got a big dent in the wall. I gonna come over there and fix it for you. Maybe you could make me a sandwich. I got this new character that I call people as Lester, and I'll answer the phone when telemarketers call, and I'll say, "This is Lester." Kind of sounds a little bit like Sling Blade, but I said something. This lady she called and she says, "I'm wanting to buy this house, you know." And it's probably one of those things where they looked up an address I was associated with or whatever. What's up, Lil LMFLD? What's going on? I looked. They called me, and it was probably where they looked up my address, something I was associated with. And they was like, "Oh, do you want to sell the house at such and such?" And I said, "My name is Lester." And she says, "Oh, hi, Lester. Are you interested in selling this home? Do you live there?" And I said, "Well, you can come over and play with your dolls if you want to." And she hung up the phone. And I told this other lady, I was like, "If you want to come over and fix me a sandwich, I'll share my chips with you." So I love getting a rise out of people like that, especially if they call me. Shit. All right, take it easy, Wacky Jackie. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I'm probably gonna wrap this up soon. We've been going almost 2 hours, but y'all put me in a good mood tonight. I know, like I said when I came on, I've had kind of a roller coaster of a week, and I wish I had prepared better for this. I was gonna take this afternoon and get us some visual things and some things I could hold up and share and tell stories about. Um, but like I said, I was out looking for the cat and trying to figure out where his ass is at. I hope he turns up. I'm worried about him. You wouldn't think I've only had him for a month. I like the little fella, so I hope he'll show back up. But yeah, filthy animal coming for you. Wait a minute, hold on. Who is this that needs rehab? There's a lot of shit going on. What's going on with Jesco's channel? I don't know if anybody's seen this. Um, and I've watched some of those old videos he has on there, but he's got these people on there that are like, I don't know, they're like bums. I'm not trying to be mean. I don't know if y'all know any of these people or have associated with them, but I'm really concerned, like where he's going with this. I hope he puts out some good content soon because I don't know. I thought I was on the wrong channel or someone had like got his stream code or something. Maddie, yeah, yeah. There's some weird stuff going on there. I hope he ties it all together with something. Is all I can say. I hadn't seen him around much in like Discord and stuff, but I know he said he was gonna leave out of there or something at one point. So, but yeah, I get nervous sometimes when I see stuff come out on channels that doesn't seem like it belongs because it's like, did someone hack their channel? Because a big channel, with a lot of followers or subscribers will sometimes people will do that um, just to get their story out or whatever. So, well, they might work out. We're gonna wait on this situation to implode. I love that they think they're gonna get a house with no income. I don't know how the hell that's gonna work. Can you imagine walking in and trying to buy a house saying, "Well, yeah, we got income. Well, what's your income?" Well, her sugar daddy gave us a credit card and that's our income. And sometimes I sell laptops and I got a bunch of Pink Floyd shirts. Can you imagine that in his world that probably is a good way to prove yourself. He was working on that damn four wheeler. He talking about, I need a tusk wrench. I gotta go put it together. Hell, he went out there just to show all the shit, show all the stuff he was doing with that four wheeler. It was like, I'll work on it tomorrow. I don't know if y'all caught that in that video. It's like, I'll come back tomorrow and work on it. I'm like, well, shit, dude. No wonder nothing ever gets fixed around there. That damn tusk wrench, it wasn't in the Fisher Price set. That's why he had to go back in there. He had to go back in there and get off there real quick. He's probably got a Fisher Price set of tools, one of those with a little drill that goes ning ning ning. My brother had one of those growing up. Well, they better take it easy. Have y'all ever seen the damn stack of blocks and shims underneath that shed? You get to going in there, you're gonna knock that thing off its foundation. That thing's built up on. It was like that. What was it? The Princess and the Pea, where she's got all the mattresses and she kept filling the pee or whatever. It was like a fairy tale. She kept filling the pee through all the mattresses, you know, and they kept stacking the mattresses up. That's uh, that's what the shims look like under that damn building. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad that whole thing with him. I don't know. Hopefully he figures it out. 'Cause, I mean, none of us are getting any younger. You know, none of us are getting any younger. But I appreciate y'all coming in tonight. I really do. I had a good time. Y'all put me in a much better mood than I came in here on. I'm still worried about this cat, but I feel a lot better, and I appreciate that. I hope I was able to pass some laughter your way. And I'm going to try to do this again soon. I'll let y'all know. Just make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, and hang out. And I'll let you know when I'm going live again, and when I've got a new video coming out. I may release some of those Donald things, but I've got some other prank calls that I've been doing, just non-turkey related, just screwing with people. So yeah, I'll probably be putting out a couple videos in the next few weeks here. Maybe in the next couple weeks, depending on if I can get it edited and everything. Well, thank y'all for your support. I really do appreciate it, and thank y'all for coming in and everything. And y'all all have a safe weekend. I know there's a lot going on in the world, and in various places there's more going on. So I really appreciate everybody being here, and thank y'all again, and y'all have a good night and a good weekend and be safe.